What is up, guys? It's your girl Rivah, and I am back again with another video. If you're new here, my name is Rivah, and I'm here to give you guys my reaction to this video. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. I had this video sent to me a million times in my DM, and I promised that I would do reaction to it, so here we are. I'm going to go ahead and press play, and then I will jump in and give you guys my feedback whenever I see fit. Oops. Not speed pass.
Do you guys, since we have the right to choose what to do with our bodies, would you support men having the right to have a financial abortion?
Oh yeah, 100%.
So you would support that?
Yeah.
No. Not if they slept with you without condom.
Yeah, I didn't say my point beforehand, but I think if you've both had sex, at the end of the day, you've had sex. What can happen if you have sex? You can have a child. Therefore, you automatically have gone into that agreement. If the child is now born, you both have financial responsibilities, point blank period.
So then are you pro-life? Like, do you not believe in abortion?
Me personally, it's not that I don't believe in abortion. If someone wants to get an abortion, that's their prerogative. Go for it. Go do what you please. Me personally, no, I don't believe.
But you support people, like women, having the right to choose.
If they want to, yeah, definitely.
So wouldn't you think, since we have the right to not be a mother, they should have the right not to be a father? Because, like, if I get pregnant by a guy, right, I can tomorrow say I don't want to be a mom, get an abortion up to 6 months in, but he's stuck paying child support for 18 years.
They created avenues for women to get out of it. They didn't create them for men, but it was men, really. Like, you lot could have your tubes tied. You could have your tubes tied.
No, but that's permanent.
No,
you
can
can
have them
reverse
like that.
it.
It can be reversed.
It can be reversed.
Women can't. Like, so you lot could actually physically have it done, and then choose when you want to have kids, then have them undone.
But we have,
do you know what I mean?
But we have an IUD. You could get an IUD and you're chilling.
A coil.
Oh yeah, sorry, we call it.
Okay, but those things, I mean, I don't know for a man what the effects are because they don't really do it. But for a woman, there's a lot of things that happen to our bodies when we when we put the coil in, when we take the pill. Like me personally, I cannot take the pill. Like it does a lot to me inside, and it says me. So I just have to, I just don't have sex. It's the best kind of conception. But like. For a man, they can get their tubes tied. And, why is society not saying, let's tie all the men's tubes, and then when you want to have a kid, come in.
They are, if you've seen.
So, she's saying tubes tied is like throwing me off a little bit because isn't it called like a vasectomy? Like, isn't that what it called? And then you can reverse it if you want to. Now, the thing is that possible that men are able to do that? Absolutely. Like, absolutely. But it is a procedure. Like, it's literally a procedure that is done. And as we know, everything is not 100% foolproof and things can possibly go wrong. You know what I'm saying? So it is a little bit more invasive than somebody taking a pill, right? Although the pill is not the best option, right? To be honest, for some people's bodies, because some people have, like, bad side effects that come along with it that a lot of people don't talk about, with cysts, fibroids, mental health issues to the extreme. Like, there's a lot of different side effects. However, when you're taking an over-the-counter drug, like a medicine, like, or whatever, to block you from being able to conceive, to whereas you have to go into a hospital and have like an extreme procedure done that is probably extremely expensive, it's a little bit different. That is why it's marketed to women to take the birth control and not men to go get their tubes tied, because the cost is not the same. Like, some women can get birth control literally for free, right? A vasectomy is not free. It's definitely not free, and it's an elective an elective procedure. It's not even something that is going to be like covered from your insurance because you just want to be able to be free or whatever. It's a very different situation, extremely different.
Media around Roe versus Wade. They're literally telling men to get vasectomies, but they're not always reversible, and that's a pretty big risk.
Vasectomy is not, no.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, for the woman, we have abortion. That's one form of birth control. We have Plan B. That's another form of birth control. We have the pill. We have an IUD. We can get that thingy in our arm. I don't know what it's called.
The shot.
We can do adoption if we want to have the kid and give it up for adoption.
But I mean, all of those carry a significant risk, the same way in which a vasectomy would to a man, right?
But why was nothing developed for a man? It's what my question.
It actually was. No, it actually was. Well, no, but it wasn't marketed because they thought
it wasn't gonna.
No, I think
men wouldn't want to.
Most men would be
Every
okay.
man I know would.
You would take a pill.
Well,
I wouldn't.
No, I don't think you're right. And also the thing is, what you have to remember is that when it comes to who you're going to market, let's say you're a pharmaceutical company, you're going to market a drug to someone, right? Obviously, who does the greater risk come to? It's women.
But what I'm saying is those drugs are not readily available for men. They don't have that option.
No,
the women
because
do.
of the pharmaceutical companies.
Right, but that's not men. That's not men in general's fault. That's not.
I would argue that the pharmaceutical companies back in the day were run by men.
Okay, but that's a.
Yeah, but let's just talk about now. Like, let's not talk about then. Let's not talk about before. What had happened was who possibly did. Like, how it's run. It's like, and the reason why is not necessarily just because they're trying to target men or whatever. It's because the woman is the one that gets pregnant. That's the main reason why. And also, we're the ones who have menstrual cycles. That's why a lot of people that have issues with their menstrual cycle, when they go into the doctor, one of the recommendations that the doctor gives is birth control, because the hormones that are released in the body through birth control pills can also alter the hormones in the woman's body, which can help with things like PMDD, PMS, certain severe complications that women have with their menstrual cycles. That's why it's also marketed. So it's not just because of pregnancy, it's also marketed for other reasons. But I love the fact that, like, people forget about, like, contraceptives regardless of birth control. Right? Like, there's also, stuff, there's gloves, if you know what I mean, that you can put on. Like, there's also different avenues of that. But I kind of feel like this part of the conversation is just a sidetrack. What we really need to get to is, how would you guys feel if the man decided that he didn't want to pay for the kids? And that's what I want to get to that part of the conversation.
All percentage of men. That's not the majority of everyday Joe Schmo. That's just having sex.
I still think men have I think this is a really big point. Men have way more problems with doctors, pills, stuff like that than women do.
Well, then you think we would have less unplanned pregnancies on the women's side, and they'd take birth control.
But they do take. A lot of women do take birth control.
Okay.
Well, all my friends do, to their own detriment.
I know, but then why do we have so many single parent homes?
Well, yeah, but I think that's an inevitability.
No, it's not. It's not an inevitability. When you have the choice to get an IUD and you have a 99.99% chance of not getting pregnant. So what my point is that, like, women, we have all the power when it comes to reproduction. We choose who gets born. The men have no say in this. Absolutely none, because at the end of the day, I can get an abortion, and the men don't have a say.
But they can put a condom on.
Yeah, they could.
That's it. But okay,
that's the only thing.
Yeah, I know. But
still, just trying, the sisterhood sticking together, trying to figure a way to blame men when they're missing the entire point that Pearl is making. Okay, fine. All other steps have failed. Now that woman is pregnant. Now she decides if she is going to have this child or if she is not. If the man is saying, keep that baby. No, don't get an abortion. Keep that baby. I want to keep my child. And she says, no, I'm not going to. He can't do anything about it. If he says, I don't want you to keep the baby, and she says, I'm keeping it, he cannot do anything about it. That's the point that we're making.
Could do it.
You can still do it.
But here's the thing: the condom could break, and the NBA issued statements saying that women are stealing condoms.
Yeah, no.
So what I'm saying is, a guy can do every single thing right. He can do it.
But guys
correctly.
are also taking off the condom during sex. I've literally had it recently. So,
and so can women. Women can also be on any type of birth control and still get pregnant.
Yeah,
but that's the exception. It's not the rule. It's 99.99% or 95 or so. It's something stupid high.
Because the thing is, we're talking about
high if a guy's condoms break.
We have to be clear too. A lot of women get pregnant on birth control because they're not taking it properly. Okay, they missed doses. They forgot when they took it. They think they took it. They didn't take it, and they're confused. They don't remember when, and that's the reason why. That's the real reason why. Just to be honest, like, we have to stop with the anomalies, just trying to put blame on somebody else and not have the logical conversation. Like, this is a really simple conversation, but because they want to find a way to blame men, they're going to try to find all these anomalies. She talked about men who take the hat off in the middle of the act, and she said she heard that. It's not even something that happened to her. Like, come on.
Look, we're talking about,
we're talking. She could still steal it. Like the whole point is, the point is that you have legally it incentivizes women to try to get kids off of rich men. And there's whole Reddit threads of women trying to get pregnant by their boyfriends, telling him, let me finish. There's whole Reddit threads, women trying to get pregnant by their boyfriends. And like, why are we in a society that allows this, where men have no rights when it comes to reproduction?
You were talking about the exception to the rule, right? I don't think that's the rule. I don't think women, by and large, are going out there taking the condoms off men because they're desperate to have babies.
Brittany Renner made a whole video teaching. She was famous off of this.
I think even though you're saying this, so a lot of
why would the NBA issue a statement? Because if that's what's going on to a small percentage of men in society, what is going on with the average Joe?
Right. But they do allow it, because you do allow a woman to. There was a guy I used to see, and he's a lovely guy, still friends to this day. He, when we'd finished, he used to literally take it off, tie it up, and take it home. He would leave with it, and I asked him one day, I was like, how comes, he's like, my mum taught me to take it home.
Oh, to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah, but he's actively doing stuff, and there's a lot of men that don't actively even look at other.
I know, but he shouldn't have to.
He
shouldn't have to do that.
I'm not saying he should.
So my point is, even if you get pregnant, right? Should you have a right to not be a mother? Why doesn't he get a right not to be a father? So baby's coming. You can get an abortion or you can keep it.
But then don't sleep with her if you don't have the intention of
Don't sleep with him.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Because I could use the same argument that pro-life people use.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that you're wrong about women. I'm just saying it works both ways. If you don't want to have a baby with somebody, don't sleep with them. If there's a chance that the condom's not going to work.
No, it doesn't work both ways. It genuinely does not work both ways, because as a woman, you are the one who is making that choice, right? So even if he's doing all the right things, you said you're on the pill, he's wrapping it up, then you guys are intimate. Then he leaves and you go in the trash can or whatever the case is, and you do whatever it is that you're doing. Like, all of these situations, you still can, start this situation and then say, I'm keeping it. If a woman's birth control method fails, and she gets pregnant and she decides that she is not going to keep it, she can go and make that decision on her own. If a man's birth control method fails and she gets pregnant and she decides she wants to keep it, he is stuck in that situation. He has no say.
He's going to get pregnant. Don't do it. Same with the woman. Don't do it.
Right, but then then wouldn't you say you'd be pro-life then?
What? Because I'm saying don't do it.
Yeah, because that's the same argument. So then don't sleep with him. You can't get an abortion.
I'm not saying
you deal with the consequences.
I'm not saying you can't get an abortion. I'm not saying you have to deal with the consequences. But you both have a choice. Everyone has a choice. But
except the man.
But it's always put on the woman.
There's no choice for the man.
Don't sleep with her.
I know, but don't sleep with him.
Yeah, no, it's true.
So I'm saying if she's pregnant, the baby's already coming. She has a choice. He doesn't. Why is that fair?
Every single pregnancy isn't a choice, which is why things like
it is true, because sometimes you are.
It's not everything isn't all roses.
Are you talking about grape? Is that what you're talking about?
Grapes.
That's less than 1% of abortions. It's
0.5%. Statistics.
So tell the truth on statistics, because we have to be honest. Like, again, trying to find the anomaly in the situation. When I did my whole stream on the Roe v. Wade situation, majority of it was just because they just did not want to have a child. It was not because of any of these other one-off situations. Okay, the majority was just that they got pregnant, they didn't want to keep the baby, and that was just that. So let's stick to, again, the logical conversation. Let's, not the anomalies. It's getting a little frustrating.
It's from the abortion clinic. It's from okay, do you have a different statistic that you brought? So, or is this just based on what you feel? But so it's based off of what you feel. So 40% of women that get abortions have had 2 or more abortions.
Yep.
So it seems like
How
it's
do you
just
know what their abortions are from? Yeah. Like? Do you know that they're from a grape, or do you know
because they're surveyed.
They don't want it. They want to go out clubbing every week.
They're surveyed, and it's less than 1%.
You're speaking as if it's absolute.
They take when they take this person in, And people have to write up stuff when they go to the doctor, right? They have to write their name, their age. They have to write what race they are. They have to write, like, this is when you go to, like, a place like this. They have to write, like, their name, their age, what race they are, I believe, and the reason why or how many. Like, there's a questionnaire. The same as when you go to a doctor, right? Are you allergic to this medication? Are you allergic to that? Like, it's the same kind of protocol anytime you go to any doctor's office. And they take that information and then they apply it to certain situations, right? The majority of the women here that are this age, between this age, and are this race, get it done because of this. It's come on, guys.
Do you know why every single person had one?
Okay, but you're speaking like as if you have any data at all.
What data?
Hold on.
Technically, or Google to tell me what is right when I have friends and I have people and I know a lot of women. And everyone can go and do public interviews, whether you have a mic or not. You speak to people every day and you get data from them. So
I speak to more people than anyone in this room. I have women.
I don't know about that.
You don't think having a live show 4 times a week, interviewing people on the street?
But I'm just saying, you're saying that every single pregnancy is like by choice. It's not. So
I'm saying that less than 1% of pregnancies are in the instances of rape. Do you think the majority of men are out here raping women? Is that your opinion on that?
Every single person that's been raped wants to do a statistic or a survey.
Yeah. But here's
everyone in an unhappy marriage.
Even if it's not less than 1%, it's not 40%. It's not 40%.
Exactly. They don't want to sit there in front of the
Okay. Let's triple it. Let's triple it. It's still only 3%, even if you tripled it. I don't even think it would be that high.
I don't think so.
But this is all based on your feelings.
Right.
This is all based on your feelings. There's no facts in it.
Google search statistic.
I think the problem is that, unfortunately, as much as facts play a part, so do feelings. Emotion and facts do actually have a hand in each other, because the thing is that statistics can only tell you one side of something. Feelings can also tell you another side.
Okay.
It doesn't mean one or the other is completely correct.
Okay, so this is how they gather the data. They survey people at different abortion clinics in the U.S. This is a U.S. statistic, and you can also look on the UK government website too, and it's similar. So if you're looking at different countries, different abortion clinics in different states and different countries, and it's all saying the same thing, you don't think that indicates that maybe that's the rate?
I think once again,
or is it based on how you feel? You can't see study.
So for example, a lot of people don't know what's happening to. Right, so for example, I know a lot of women, and I've certainly been in that position before myself, who have not actually realised they've been raped because...
Say raped.
Raped. Because we sometimes... I think.
How do you not realize you've been raped?
Well, because there's massive grey areas there with coercion and manipulation, and I just think that
what she's saying is true, though. What this woman right here, where she's saying a lot of people have been in this situation and like maybe didn't realize it because of their lack of maturity or whatever. She's not wrong in what she's saying right here. Just right here, though. Like what she's saying is true. That's definitely true.
The reality of it is that sometimes, you can get pushed into a situation which you didn't really want to be in. And I think that can sometimes be put, I'm not saying all the time, it's a nuanced conversation. We can't speak on every single individual case, but as a whole, I think there are a lot of women who might have not said no, but not said yes, not wanted it, and later,
if they didn't say no, how is he supposed to know that?
Well, okay,
can I just say something? Sorry, I have to get involved because this is something that's happened to me.
Some people say no, and the person will think that, oh, she just saying that just because she's trying to play hard to get, when she's really like, no. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people have the image of that. That's a different conversation, though. But a lot of people have the image that it's just one size fits all, like push down, take, and it's not always the same exact thing. What she's saying is true, but that's not changing the entire conversation that we're having, right? Like this is just moving the goalposts. This is not changing the fact that majority of the women who have been surveyed have said that they just did not want to have more children. Okay, and that was the reason why they went the route that they went. That's not changing the point. This is just moving the goalpost. Got me even talking about the nuanced conversation that wasn't supposed to be had.
There is a. It happened to me, and I didn't know. I thought I'd got drunk, and I was just like, "Oh, it's okay." I'd been drugged, and I had no idea.
Right.
Like, and I woke up the next morning thinking, "Oh my god, like I did this, and why would I do this?" But it's because I'd been drugged.
Well, if you were drugged, then that's clearly great.
Yeah, but I didn't know. I didn't know at first. So I'll tell you what happened, and people probably think I'm stupid. Like I said, I didn't know what had happened to me. I thought I drank a lot, and that I put myself in this position, which is really, really bad. Like, why put yourself in this position? It's the first time I'm talking about this, by the way. I then, I went out with the person again. And the same thing happened. The exact same thing happened to me. And obviously this time I went and, because I was like, how on earth did it happen again? And I didn't know. So there is instances where you don't know. You don't know it's happened to you because a lot of women won't go and get checked out afterwards to make sure.
Would you agree that that's the exception? It's not the rule.
Yeah,
I don't know because I think a lot of men are doing
that. Men. Is that your opinion on men? That the majority of men are out here.
No, it's the exception, not the rule. It's not the rule. Okay, this is not
raping women.
I think it happens a lot. I think it does happen a lot. I think a lot more women have been raped than will ever come out because a lot more women won't say it. They won't talk about it. Like I said, I haven't gone and lay down a statement because I don't want to.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to for myself. And there's a lot of women out there that feel the same. They won't. They don't want to do it. So those statistics will never show because they've never said it. They've never admitted it.
Do you know? I'm assuming you do that. The actual convictions that go through for rape are incredibly are incredibly low. Incredibly low.
Well, yeah, but you don't know if every girl that's accusing someone is telling the truth.
No, of course you don't.
So it should be difficult to convict somebody.
I think
it should be.
I think it should be difficult in certain circumstances. But I mean, I saw a television program once where they
look how easy, right? It was for this woman in particular to went back into a corner asking about if men should have rights, should not have rights, turned the entire conversation into an attack on all men and what they do and what they're capable of and what really happens. Once the spotlight was on women, they have easily turned and flipped the entire conversation and said, well, let's just focus on what men do. But men do this, but men do that.
Following police, and they got to I mean, if this woman was lying, I would be shocked. She was in absolute bits, and the guy even admitted to raping her on TV. He admitted it on TV, and then he went in. He changed his statement later. He got let off. She was.
I don't know that individual story. But it's like this narrative that all men are raping women. I think is harmful to men.
Yes.
And I think we're looking at exceptions rather than the rule.
I didn't say all.
Even a lot. I think that's harmful.
That's why we're in the place that we are today. It's so easy for women to lie. About something 100%. Like that happening to them.
Because there's no repercussions.
And so that's why it's important to have a really. It needs to be hard to convict someone. Look what happened with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. Women abuse that power.
I mean, again, I think my personal opinion on that is that that's an incredibly isolated.
No, because that's a man with money, status, and power. So if that happened to someone if that happened to someone that's famous, what does that say about the average man who didn't have money, status, or power any way to protect himself or defend himself?
Right, but I think that's one of those relationships you were talking about, mutually abusive. I don't think it was Johnny being more abusive to her or her being more. I think it was mutually abusive.
They interviewed all of his exes. He'd never hit any of them.
What?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, but there's still been. This is a really public trial. Yeah, no, I know that.
Here we go again. Here we go down the rabbit hole. She's like the queen of like bringing people down the rabbit hole with her.
There were still incidences during Johnny Depp's career where he's been seen to be violent.
No.
That's just the narrative they're trying to spin, and they keep that. This is how clearly it works because we're laying out the facts, and then you're going off what you're feeling and mix it in with the actual reality of the situation. And this is often what happens.
And like, this is an argument tactic, guys. Like, it's literally when you don't have facts, numbers, or statistics, you bring out extreme scenarios.
Yep.
When that's not the rule.
Sorry, how was I bringing out on the street extreme
So we were talking about assault earlier when we were talking about Roe versus Wade.
Yeah.
And so you guys were saying it's less than 1% of. You guys were saying that it's more prevalent than it is. When that's the extreme.
I just replied to what was said. You said that.
No, I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yeah. Not this woman who's giving her example. That was a completely different. It's the rabbit hole queen right here.
I'm confused as to what exact point you're bringing up.
Okay, well, you can watch it back later.
No.
But my point is that it's like we're talking about one thing, and when we talk about one topic, we go off topic because we're bringing up extreme situations when we're talking about in general.
Well, my personal opinion, I get what you're saying, but on the same token, I think that there are a lot of different reasons why something happens in one sphere. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes bringing up a point from somewhere else actually links in to what we're talking about. That's what I've learned from my life.
Right, but I'm saying exceptions don't make the rule.
I think what rule are we talking about here? I don't think
we were talking about Roe versus Wade.
No, I know.
So then you guys brought up
what I mean is when you say the rule is
the rule is that women use abortion as a form of birth control rather than something that should be used in an extreme circumstance.
Right.
So again, 40% of women that have abortions have already had 2 or more. They don't track the 60% to see if they have more in the future.
Okay.
And a lot of people make it an income and an education type of issue, but only 8% of women below the poverty line actually get abortions.
Yep,
where 1 out of 3 women that make over $47,000 per year get an abortion.
Right, okay. All right, I didn't know that.
Okay. I'm going to...
Ay. Pearl. Poor Pearl. Okay, Pearl be...
That's it, but
Pearl be going through it on the stream. And it makes me so upset because the conversation never got to the main point of the conversation, which is the fact that the woman that was in the white and the denim says that no, men should not be able to get a financial, abortion. They should have to pay for this child that even if they didn't want them, even if it was discussed that they would never want a child, and the woman just changed her mind and says, I want to keep it. Like, I would have loved to have that conversation because I think that's fair. I think there should be somewhere that a man can say, okay, I never said I wanted this child. You said you wanted it. I said I didn't want it. And so whatever the case is, I don't know if it's going to have to be a situation where men are going to have to start, writing up contracts like how celebrities have people sign non-disclosures. I think that men should have some sort of agreement. If this situation happens, I am not responsible. You decide that you are going to blah, 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 and you blah, 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 and sign that. Okay, just to keep it safe. I don't know if that document will hold up in court, but maybe it will. Because if a woman is on the same track with you, like, oh yeah, I'm not going to keep it, and then she changes her mind, I think that a man should have a say in that situation. Because a woman has a say, as Pearl said, all the way to 6 months, which is crazy. 6 months is basically almost a baby. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts, feelings, and opinions. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you guys in the next video. Love you.